Femmes and Nirvana. What does it take to organise these massive events? What do they offer the performers who take part? And are they here to stay? Only one way to find out.
Hi, how are you? I love you latest, you know, blah, blah, smooth, and see you later. Everyone who's into music, especially new music, is here today. It's a big collective energy thing.
Music Rat Party 1991 to 92, we had about 230 people with crew and backstage passes on the night. This gives you an idea of the number of people involved in having the event function like that. At this particular event, you know, we used 3 halls, spread through the 3 halls. We had 2 massive Star Vision screens, which are liquid crystal video screens with light coming from inside, they're not projected onto. An enormous amount of computer equipment to drive the video graphics that went onto that. You know, just our staging and dance floor bill alone comes to nearly $40,000. This is just hiring, you know, we're not buying any of it. I ain't gonna be around while you're gone. I ain't gonna be around because I don't want you. All of my morning up, little bit. 2 years ago when we brought Adeva out, she was not known to a lot of people who went to the party, and she was certainly known afterwards. And I think that this applies also to many entertainers and performers who've had various parts to play in the big events, because they get a name for themselves and their work gets seen, whether they're even visual artists, their work gets seen by a lot more people, and therefore it does have a commercial impact in their future success.
Kind of surprising a lot of people. This thing would have done 25,000 people easily. It may have done more. I mean, it ran 3,000 tickets in the last 36 hours before it ran out, and then that was 12 days out from the event. And here's this people going kind of nuts because it's 20 bands they basically all like, you know, for a bit less than the cost of a Rod Stewart ticket.
You know, there's no like fabricated bands up there today. You know, these guys all know how to perform and they all work hard. They've all been touring and they've done the pub circuit and everything else, you know, all around the world. So on that basis, it's always good to have them up there and show younger audiences what other bands are like, other than the clean sort of pop stuff that they see on the tube.
Let's cast and smell the juice. Run your running MC, top gunning it, turning down your soul as we roll until I say so. Sideways. Now we're gonna be doing it my way, playing a song never wrong. Now we getting on colder than ice cream. Singing about the pig while I sing. My TV, I'll be winging a pleasure. Pressure into the measure, MC assassin. We're making this here. At your place, get up, get down, and you kick it to the understand. At your place, get up, get down, and you kick it to the understand. At your place, get up, get down, and you kick it to the understand. At your place, get up, get down.
Even though it's such an enormous event and the ticket prices are fairly high, the overheads are so enormous that it really, over the years, has not proven to be a financially viable exercise. Most business people think we're crazy doing it, and clearly we come from a creative base, and that's still the root of what drives us, because we often give people a chance to perform in front of a huge crowd where they've maybe only done a club before that. And that's a great step for a lot of people to take.
It's just a good chance to play to a mass audience.
To be outside as well is really different. It really makes a difference from the pub thing.
Especially this year, I noticed that dozens and dozens of people phoned me in the period, in the months leading up to the event, wanting to be involved. I mean, even Yothu, Yindi, I think they got an enormous thrill out of performing to that particular audience at that particular time with those particular production effects like laser and very light, because usually they're doing a normal club stage with cans and pretty basic lighting, and we gave them something very special, and we gave them something special in terms of an audience, because it's not a concert audience.
But it in my mind, it's so clear, I remember, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, sunset river. Oh, Nirvana.
People here than what we got at our usual gigs, but
And
it's just a great...
younger people too who can't get into the pub.
Yeah.
High behind a tree, and don't you make a sound, and every day then you'll be okay. Moving, moving, passing like a river, burning ocean, slow as a cloud. They turn around. Run, boy, fly, boy, to the river. She'll be waiting to deliver you home.
Over the years, I suppose we've entertained, just tens and tens of thousands of people, and you could count the number of fights on your hands. It's just, it's not an environment where we have that sort of danger. And this St John's ambulance always present at the showground functions. So people are, if they fall off the slide, they can go and see the St John's ambulance, and if they've had too much of anything, they can go and see them, and it can get handled,
Australian audiences tend to get very aggressive, I think. Even things like festivals, we played a festival in Denmark called the Roskilde Festival a couple of years ago in Denmark, and it was the most well-run concert, festival I've ever come across. It was just and they sold bottles, which is unheard of here in Australia. You don't sell bottles of anything here.
But the biggest risk is kind of council EPA, noise pollution limitations and stuff. Resident action groups are overthrow from the late 70s and early 80s, whereby councils jumped to attention if 5 people signed a petition saying that there was a problem with something, and people just can't afford it anymore. I know the showgrounds aren't very happy about it, and they lost all their dance parties because of it. It's the third runway syndrome and all this kind of stuff. If you live right next to something that's, this is designed for mass audience events, yet people have stopped it from doing that. because they live next door to it.
Having something with a different ambience and the dodging cars and the skateboard ramps and all that, it's good, you know. Give somebody, the ticket payer, something different to spend their money on, and it gives the musicians something different. I've met more guys backstage, people whose music I've been listening to for years that I've never met, or I've seen them, you know, backstage in a pub for 30 seconds. It's a really nice atmosphere all around. I like playing to a crowd that isn't just the Celibate Rifles crowd too, because you get a real good gauge of what you're doing.
I like playing in the basement, practice place, 20 people, 20,000 people. It's all the same. I mean, it's fun, it's good. I like it.
White man had the money, black man had the blues, and no one knew what they were gonna do. But the country had the news, and to be light, it was light. Let there be sound, there was sound. Let there be drums, there was drums. Let there be guitar, there was guitar. Let there be rock, let there be rock.
And a lot of the bands have been overseas and played festivals like the Hard-Ons and Ratcats and the Beast Suburban, and most of them have played lots of festivals overseas, and they don't understand why they don't happen here.
Well, you think it's dangerous, insane situation to have 8,000 people and it's just crammed into a hall like sardines. I mean, it's unnatural.
When we did the Grace Jones Ratty New Year party at the showground, there were 15,000 people. There was a small gay party in the banquet hall for 1,000 people, and there were no other big parties of this kind in Sydney that year. Now this year there were 4 other parties with 3,000 or 4,000 people each, which took 15,000 people out of our potential audience. And even though we had still a party that was twice the size of any of those and considerably more impressive in terms of the lineup we had. People go where their friends go, and they go where their local thing is happening.